Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The head teacher of the school, the management, the board, the trustees, the teachers, of course the parents, well-wishers, guardians, grandparents. It gives me much pleasure to be here this evening. It's always very difficult to speak a lot at primary school prizes because obviously we don't want to lose the attention of the students. So I don't intend to make a very long speech, but firstly to say that I would like to very much thank your head teacher for actually being very persistent in his invitation, and it was only his energy and his persistence that actually saw me come here today. I was this morning at CMF Primary School in Kinoya, and I was then at Corpus Christi around about midday, where some teachers got trained to become primary school teachers at their graduation. Earlier in the week I was in Nukuloa School in Ba and Tilak High School. Tomorrow I'm in Kulukulu in Singatoka, and also Donua in Kamanangasau in Singatoka, which is on the East Bank. The reason why I'm highlighting all these schools is essentially to inform you that there are so many different schools in Fiji. All of these schools have different backgrounds. These schools have different demographics. They are located in farming areas. Some are in the urban areas. Some are, of course, in peri-urban areas. Some of them are located in places like this. Many of these schools are run by faith-based organizations. Some of them, of course, are run by school committees. Some of them are government schools. But the reality at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is that as government we have to ensure that all these schools, irrespective of where they're located, that they all deliver quality education. And it is our responsibility as government, the responsibility of the school committees, the management, the trustees, the parents, and of course the teachers, to ensure that that quality education is delivered, but through a partnership. We need to have a very strong partnership to be able to do that. This is why I'd like to tonight very quickly, without taking up too much time, essentially to say to you that the teachers play a very pivotal role in how your children are actually shaped for the future. Majority of you leave your children at school at 8 o'clock in the morning, you pick them up or they come back home at about 3 or 4. For that time, they actually left with the teachers. And this is why we have to be able to ensure that our teachers have a good teaching environment, a good work environment, and of course they are remunerated accordingly. And I'd like all of us to actually please put our hands together for all the teachers who actually take out the time and the effort. As I said to the graduating teachers from Corpus Christi today, that the teachers actually leave an indelible mark on the psyche, on the psychological makeup of students. For me too, today I remember the teachers that taught me, in particular those in high school. I'm too old now to remember my primary school, but actually those teachers taught me high school. And the value system they teach you is still carried with us. The other point that I'd also like to make is, I said earlier on in the week, that the schooling system in Fiji could not have been delivered if it wasn't for many of the faith-based organizations. You have the Sanatan Dharam actually running this school. You have other faith-based organizations running other schools. If it wasn't for the energy, the fortitude, the people who actually pioneered the building of this school, government alone could have never done it. Indeed, in the colonial times, the government at that time was not really interested that much in education to be delivered to the ordinary men and women in those years. It was only through the school committees, the faith-based organizations, that we see so many schools in Fiji today. And a lot of the people, your school management, your trustees, they don't actually get paid for their services. They do it because they have a passion, they do it because they want to deliver to the community. And again, let's put our hands together for all of these people. We have your trustee, of course, here from overseas, and thank them for the services. To the parents, I'd like to say, please, government, as you know now, is paying for the school fees. There's absolutely no reason for students not to attend the schools. You only have to create the right learning environment for them at home. if you're able to create a right earning environment, if you're able to give them words of encouragement, you will now see your children go all the way up to year 13. And even after year 13, we have scholarships available on merit. If they do not get a scholarship, they have tertiary education loans that they can get. Today we have approximately 15 to 16,000 students in tertiary institutions throughout Fiji that are assisted by government, either through TELS or through scholarships. So it is very, very important that we are able to work together to have that level of collaboration. Today, nearly 70%, 69.4% of the entire population, just to be exact, is below the age of 40. For those of you who are over the age of 40, people like myself, most of the people here, we are in the minority. So we have to make sure that we create the right environment for our young people. We have to get them educated, we have to get them to start thinking, we have to ensure that they get good jobs once they finish the schooling system. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, as your head teacher actually mentioned about the encroaching waters over here through the tributary of Rewa River, climate change has an enormous impact on the way that we live. A lot of people do not realize this. Very soon the indelible effects of climate change will even change the way that we develop policies, how we deal with our roads, how we plant, when we plant our crops, because the weather patterns have all changed. So we as a nation need to come together to work towards that. And I'm very happy to say that our Honourable Prime Minister at Bonn, at COP23, led a fantastic leadership that saw that all the nations actually came together to come up with furthering the Paris Agreement. But more so, I know some people have asked, well, what's in it for Fiji? And let me tell you, you'll see in the next few months the rolling out of many projects that will have a very practical effect in terms of how we can mitigate our risk against climate change, how we can actually adapt to climate change. So I seek all of your cooperation to be able to understand that and to work together. Lastly, and I believe I need to say this also, when I was at the Christian Mission School this morning, I said that in the school they had written on the buildings all sorts of values and principles that we espouse for. Love, kindness, patience, loyalty, understanding, all of these values were put there. They are great values to have, but actually none of them will not mean anything, if we don't practically apply it. So if we are to be kind, we need to ensure that we are kind to everybody. You should not only be kind to somebody just because they are of your ethnic group or your religion or because they come from the same province or you live in the same street. None of that should matter. Kindness should be to everybody, irrespective of who they are, what they look like, what skin color they have, what level of education they have. If we say we must practice love with one another, we should love everybody. Our love should not be preconditional. If we are to be tolerant or understanding, we need to be able to ensure that that relates to everybody. If we are able to do that, ladies and gentlemen, then of course we'll ensure that we improve ourselves as individuals, but we also ensure that our community will be better and indeed our nation will be better. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank all the parents for taking the time out to be here. By you being here is very encouraging for your children, for your students. It is that you taking out your little bit of time will actually encourage them to do better. So as parents, thank you very much, and we look forward to your support. We look forward to you creating a better learning environment. So we as a government, as a school committee, as the management, as the teachers, we are able to ensure that our children get educated and create a much better Fiji for all of us. Thank you very much, and I wish you a good evening. I now have much pleasure in opening this new classroom block. It will obviously serve a very useful purpose and hopefully also reduce the overcrowding that you currently have with so many students actually attending the school. And I'd also like to acknowledge all those who have actually come together to be able to ensure that this building has been put up, the extension has been put up, for the trustees and the school committee for their hard work. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have much pleasure in showing you the Pioneer magazine, which is the first for the school. Please put your hands together for...
You release the balloon and then we have the firecrackers. The balloon is usually Kumar. Second prize getter is Rama, and the first prize getter is Chess and Aliva. We have 14. Again, I'm forward to the first prize getter is Aiyaz Sayed-Khaiyum. Next up is the heads of the school. The head girl, we have 3. Their bride also receive one later. Next is another very special.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dutch for 2017 of Nakaikogo Sanatan Dharm School is Eesha Devi Singh.
The Dutch for the 2017 is Eesha Devi Singh. This is the graduate of the first session. So that's our back, Eesha Devi Singh. First